And we have a special guest joining us now, David Tousley, to describe his experience in utilizing the formulation that we talked about, the Cardio Miracle, and we can go more into if you have questions about it. But to address this specific ratio, global arginine bioavailability ratio, and how it impacts function, health, emotions, anything, David, that you can share. But give us a little background into your story as how you, ended up in a situation where this subject is very near and dear to your heart.
Hey guys, I'm David Tousley. A little background about me. I was in Afghanistan as an infantryman in 2011 and 2012. It was some of the peak years. We were on the Pakistani border, so I saw plenty of combat. When I came back, I looked for anything that I could use to kind of like relieve or get a sense of relief. My body was in pain, my mind was in pain, and it wasn't till about 6 years I had been taking, some VA stuff, psych meds here, there. I decided I needed I actually found that I had supraventricular tachycardia, which, tachycardia, my heartbeat will go 220 for at a rhythm for as long as until it gets stopped. Had to get my heart stopped once.
Hmm.
Wow.
And so I had come off a lot of the meds, everything but gabapentin for nerve and pain and anxiety. So it was kind of in tandem. I had found Cardio Miracle for the SVTs because I didn't want to take blood thinners. I was 30 years old. It just didn't seem right. It didn't actually even stop the SVTs. So I was drinking. So the first 10 days on it, I'm going to be honest, I didn't really feel anything. It didn't really do much. But that 10th day when I drank it, it was like something woke up inside of me. All the pressure relieved off of my body. And it was just like, I got this sense of relief. And it also like helped me like wake up earlier too. I was waking up at 10 o'clock. So that was about 4 years ago. And after about a year and a half, I haven't really had any heart issues since. And I've also, it's funny you guys brought it up. I've noticed like, because when the cardio, about 6 months ago, the cardio formula, it started to taste a little funny in my opinion. I don't know what it was. So I kind of slowed down on it and I noticed myself becoming more aggravated. So that bin kind of got old. I got a new bin in and I drank it and I was like, oh, wow, this is 10 times better. They must have changed the formula or something. It mixed better. It tasted better. It was amazing. So I started drinking it again and I noticed that like my morning routine was better. My aggravation was gone. Like normally I'm in the morning, I'm like, yo, you got to give me some time. Mornings are really rough there. We always wake up to something 1 to like 3 times a day. So yeah, so that's a little background.
Well, the experience you've had is something that, again, is so impactful considering what you have been through. And I'm sure you've had colleagues or friends, if you will, that served with you that have come back. Maybe, I don't know if they've been introduced to this yet, but now that we have the science to explain some of this, it might open up the possibility even that their doctors would look into what this has done for you. And I'm just, like I said, blown away and thrilled. Again, not only that we have the science here, but to have a real experience like yours, David, to share the improvement in, the emotional state, the nervous system state, the cardiac state, which we're not unfamiliar with. We've been talking about that for years now. But the other, what I call side benefits, again, not treating your PTSD, but simply restoring functionality to certain key areas that they have acknowledged are associated with this, that may be caused by it or may exacerbate, maybe make it worse. And so by facilitating this sustained nitric oxide production and improving the ratios as Stan brought to our attention here with the study, you're seeing real world manifestation of results that nothing had done prior to this.
Did you find relief? I guess one of my questions, David, is the medications, the pharmaceutical medications that you were taking, are you finding relief with this with Cardio Miracle that you didn't find previously?
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like the medications were just covering up symptoms. They were kind of just, and I would get other symptoms from the medications. Like I think that was part of the reason maybe I was just sleeping in too late, or I wasn't physically active, or I was lethargic, because it's even like got me back in the gym, getting off all those medications and stuff. Like my physical health is taking a complete 180.
Yeah.
So
Well, this,
So do you find, for example, do you have better memory? Because the amygdala isn't it true, Robert? I mean, the amygdala is, its function is memory creation, memory retention, as well as modulation of stress. I mean, how we respond to stress. Have you sensed clearer thinking, better memory, better ability, an improved ability to respond to stressful situations, whether they're part of the PTSD memories, those coming back, or someone cutting in front of you on the freeway, whatever. Have you seen it, like just practical applications, practical improvements in your life with this way through what I was suggesting, increased arginine in your body?
So when I got back, I started playing tournament paintball again, which is very high speed, fast paced, stress. It's team coordination. You got to remember all the names. You got to remember all the call outs. You got to remember the plays. And in those situations, like I make sure I have cardio because it definitely clears my mind and gets me ready for the game. And just by taking it in the morning, I can kind of move coffee out of the way too and get that clarity without that spike and kind of just that crash. So it's more consistent for me. Yeah.
It's interesting because as I talk, Robert, and David, when I talk with people who use this, they feel as if they're stimulated, but the stimulation is a function of oxygen.
Right.
Increased oxygen and better blood flow instead of something like a stimulant that isn't a gas necessary for life, like oxygen. There's no caffeine involved here, right? There are no other stimulants, so to speak, that people are leaning on to get some kind of physiological arousal.
yeah.
Trying to get some energy. Those energy drinks are just packed full of not oxygen.
No artificial stimulants, and that's not the same experience. And that's what, David, you described. This felt different, and it's sustained. It's not just I got it for a minute and it's gone as you've been utilizing it, as I've been utilizing it. The game at the gym is the trainers and all the people there is like, let's see if we can get Robert into the yellow zone, where the heart rate goes up into different zones as you're working out harder. And because of the efficiency that happens within circulatory system when you have abundant nitric oxide produced, and you're not suffering with the pro-inflammatory components that normally occur, like the peroxynitrite, which is in this formulation countered. That's, again, an astonishing building, not just a sudden onset, it comes and it goes, but you're building over time. As you pointed out, even the first 10 days, you didn't notice anything. And then something, puts you over the top to get you that next level. And I think that's a reasonable short period of time, considering what you've been through. 10 days is not much. I would say there are extreme examples of people taking it for a few weeks and then suddenly, and then there are others within a day or two. So it's always going to be unique depending on your starting point and other factors.